Welcome to the 86th episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome returning viewers, and for those of you watching us for the first time, we're so glad you could join us. Today we're going to talk about our adventure that we were on our way home from Collingwood, and we stopped in at a place called Creemore, and we also stopped in Listowel on our way home. And I will just show you that on the map. And then, before we begin talking about our little adventure, Colleen will talk about what we're wearing.
So we are wearing the same thing in different colors, so we'll hold them up. There we go. The hand models, here we go. So I'm going to show you the right side, and then there's the clasp that there is. So the clasp is a special leather closure, and that's because these were made from kits. So the kits were the Kairos kits by Nelkin. You can just buy this pattern and not have to worry about doing the kit. You could try and figure out some kind of other closure. I think I may try to do that. The yarn is Emma's yarn. That's a very tiny tag. It's practically perfect sock. And you only need 15 yards or 14 meters of fingering weight yarn. So if you've got a little bit of that and you've got some beads, it's a bead mix. And so it's just a general thing. So depending on what colors you want, then you can do that.
These beads are great. You know what? Today it's like, I don't know, it's a really nice day. It's like 18 degrees outside. Yeah. And it's a perfect day to wear your knitwear when it's warm outside.
Exactly. Because when I was planning what we were going to wear, I thought at that point in time it was 30 degrees. And I thought we are not going to be able to wear knitwear. So I like that we have this. These are really, really comfortable.
They are. Like I forgot I even had it on today.
I know.
But I really like it. And the beads are great.
I know. And it's
nice.
your color.
It is.
That's
I love that color.
You like. So that's what, there's one other thing. So I'm also wearing this necklace, which we got at Shall We Knit in Waterloo. And this looks like a lovely necklace, but it's actually needle gauge.
How handy is that?
That is fantastic. So I like it because it's just the right length, and it also has, if I'm wearing it, then I can figure out
I was going to say, is it a good length? Because you don't
Exactly. No, it's perfect.
Good.
Okay, so that's what I'm wearing, and next we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished object is a pair of socks. They are the Prairie socks, and that's by KF Jones. Love the pattern. I've made some for you, and you like the pattern. Now, these are for my son. I'll let you hold them up.
Beautiful color. They're like shamrocks or Irish or something.
It's called the Bayou. It's Felici fingering weight yarn. Now, I think the yarn must be a little plumper than some of the fingering weight yarns. Now, my son has to wear work boots all the time. Not sure if these will go in his work boots. I just chose some Regia that I had to do the heel and toes, but I think he's going to like them. So these are for his birthday, which is not for a long time, but I'm just trying to get ahead of the game. So I'm really, really happy.
Those were the words I was going to say. You're going to be ahead of the game.
That is what I'm trying to do.
And then you have to play catch up.
And I really like this because you've got this big blue stripe. And initially I was busy knitting and I think, I'll just knit one more stripe. And then the stripe kept going and going and going. And I thought, but I really like it actually. I like how it's come out.
Yeah, they turned out nice.
Exactly.
Nice.
So I'm happy with those.
Good.
So that's my first finished object.
All right.
Now, my next finished object is the Grand Ridge Cowl. And that's by Galt House of Yarns. And I used the Zen Yarn Garden Gradient Trio. It's 100% super fine superwash merino. And I'm not holding it up because it's on the blocking mats, and we know I like blocking. And I just didn't get it blocked in time so that it's still a little damp, and instead of taking it all out and having to reblock it, we're just going to put in a picture.
Okay.
All right, so that's my second one. And my third one is doing the same fate as the Grand Ridge cowl. It's also on the blocking mats, but
But they're officially finished.
They are officially finished, ends woven in. Yeah.
Because you're such a rule follower, you would not put those in finished objects if they weren't finished.
I'm definitely a rule follower, that's for sure. So this shawl is the Pure Joy by Hohi Locatelli. And as I mentioned last time, I used Ancient Art yarns, and it is their 3-ply fingering sock. And this was a pair of yarns that I got from River City Yarns in Edmonton. And I ordered it probably 4 years ago. And I had been trying to find the perfect project, and this was actually it. Because I just have a little bit left of each of the colors, so I've used it up, I feel good about it, and when it gets to be a little chillier, then I can wear it. And once again, you will be seeing a picture of it, and it really did, the yarn bloomed, as they say. So it's long, but it's not deep, so I can wrap it around a couple of times, and it'll be good.
It'll look nice. Now, what still amazes me is the fact that you can remember yarn where you got it 4 years ago. Oh my goodness, Colleen.
Every once in a while I can't, but I think when I...
For the most part, you're good for all the yarn
For the
you
most
bought
part, I
4
can
years
remember
ago.
the
Are you kidding
store.
me?
Yeah.
I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday. So good for you having a great memory.
I know. And that's when you and I talk about me being sentimental about things. So that was one of the first sets of yarn that was really nice yarn that I bought.
In fact, the other day, Colleen said, "How do you like my watch?" I said, "Oh, that's really nice." She said, "Do you remember where we got this watch?" I was like, "No idea." She says, "Don't you remember you bought me that watch when we went to Florida?" No, I don't remember that. But I'm glad I did.
That's right.
So,
nice
yeah, you are a little sentimental.
I am, that's for sure. Now, my last finished object is the Garden Fresh Embroidery project. And it is by Leisure Arts. And what I did, you will have seen it last time as a big square. And what I did was I finished it up in a hoop.
So nice. I love it. It turned out great.
Yeah, I'm really, really
happy
happy
with it. If you
with
keep doing these things, you could have a whole wall full of them.
I could have a whole wall
And you
full
just
of them.
keep them on these as a frame?
Right. So sometimes, depending on what you buy, depends on the kind of hoop that you buy. I think in this case it came with a 6-inch hoop, and it just left things too much of an edge around. So we
because
got
you
a
would
5
need an
inch.
edge because these flowers are kind of cut off. If you would do the 6-inch,
Exactly.
you would see half of a flower.
Exactly. And so that's what was happening. So we went and bought a 5-inch hoop at Michael's.
So you're really enjoying this. This is a new craft for you.
This is
You're really
embroidery.
enjoying this.
As I said, I think I was in grade 7 the last time I did some embroidery.
And you're enjoying this, and the colors are
I
great.
am.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
another-
And I just want to show you the back. It's not perfect by any means, but look, it's tidy. Okay, it's really, really tidy. I'm learning that. It's not perfect, but I'm learning.
Oh, is there a knack to that?
You have to
Oh, do
try.
you glue this in this?
Yes, you
Oh,
glue it
you
with the
glue
hot
all that
glue
in
gun.
there?
Yeah. And so you got to try and cut. You have to cut the fabric just right, because if it's
Yes,
too
short,
neat, then it won't go all the way around, and if it's too much, then it shows on the front of the project
Well,
just by a shadow.
It did turn out nice and neat because you can't really see that any of it when
I
you're.
think I did pretty well.
Yeah. Very nice for your first real attempt, isn't it?
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm really, really happy
Yeah,
with it. So
good
as I
job.
mentioned, this one I purchased because I wanted to practice doing something called a French knot. So if you are a person who doesn't know how to do a French knot or wants extra practice, this is for you. Because all the blue flowers are French knots.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really cool. Now, do you have another one on the go now, or?
I haven't started another one yet, but I've got some on hand ready to go.
Very nice.
All right, so those are my finished objects. And May, how about finished
I
objects
do
for you?
have some finished objects, and you know, Colleen, as you know, if you saw my little video about me setting up my booth,
Mm-hmm.
we have a miniature show on the weekend. I should say the royal we, because you really helped me with. I make the bed, you make the bedding.
Right.
I make a couch, you make the pillows.
Right.
So it's kind of a really neat to have us both.
It's nice to
contribute.
share that with you, absolutely.
So we're doing that on this weekend. So I had to get a few things ready to go, and I'm just doing some little last minute things. I have made a couple of TVs, and they've been painted. So they're kind of in the same boat as your blocking, that they're not finished, and I didn't take a photo, but
Right.
next time
Okay.
I can show those TVs. Also, I've been finishing up just some little baskets I want to sell. Colleen was nice enough to, did you crochet this basket?
Crochet the baskets.
Crochet the baskets.
Yeah.
which are really cool.
And the May's putting in that fabric just made them, first of all, it makes them hold their shape nicely. And the other thing is it just sets them off just nicely.
So it was another kind of a joint project. You make those
Exactly.
little baskets. I cut out the fabric.
Yeah.
You know my favorite thing for fabric? I'm not a sewer, as you know, but I love gluing fabric.
Definitely not a sewer.
No. So I glued these, you know how you would make a hem?
Right.
I glued it
Okay,
in,
yeah.
and then I glued just the sides to
looks
the
really
basket.
good.
And they turned out quite
Yeah,
nice.
you
So
did a great job.
Great joint project. And this is what the
Exactly.
baskets look like before
Okay, I'll explain why I'm having a little
Okay,
giggle.
yes.
So last night, I thought, I was sitting watching TV, hadn't started a new knitting project. I thought, I'll help May out. I'll make another couple of baskets. And I had a crochet hook that was right there, and away I went, and I'm busy crocheting, and I'm thinking, boy, my hands are hurting. I don't know why, but I thought, okay, I'll try and make her two. So I was all happy with myself that I made two.
I
and
was
then
so
you
excited. I said, oh, those are great. And then I thought, these aren't really...
the right size. They're not the same size.
And you were shocked. You were like, what? I used the same crochet hook and...
No,
did
I
the
know. I said I used the same crochet cotton.
Cotton,
Yeah.
but a different hook.
What a different hook.
And the sizes are notably different.
Exactly. So one of the things that I noticed, I bought a set of hooks, and one of them says it's a 1.5, and then I have another 1.5, and they are not the same size. So I don't know
How's
which
that?
ones.
How can
I
that
don't know.
be?
I don't know which one's off, but it made sense when I was done why my hands were hurting because it was so fine, and I was working so hard to get the
But you know what,
baskets in.
Colleen? I appreciate you doing that. We could have two sizes of baskets. I
Okay.
could have a smaller one and a little bit of a bigger one.
All
But
right. Well,
they
thank you for
turned
that.
out so cute.
They are
So
so
my
cute.
idea is when I do have more time on my hands, I'm going to make some polymer clay breads and some cheeses.
Oh,
and
perfect.
Just fill them up with some things just to make
Exactly,
it
like
kind
a
of
little
cool.
picnic
But that's-
basket.
Yes. So
Very
that was
nice.
one finished. I mean, I've got a whole bunch of finished objects because I've been busy for this.
Exactly.
And if you haven't seen the video, go have a look at my setting up my booth for my first show. So excited.
I know she's going to do great.
Yes. So I bought these to sell too, because you know sometimes with a dollhouse it's kind of old school. You want to do the old
Right.
Victorian style. So I found
absolutely.
these when we did our bead store. We went the other day. We went on a little
Right.
trip.
Exactly.
And they're kind of had little hooks. I cut off the hooks. And I thought you could use these as picture frames.
Right.
And
Oh my
so
goodness,
I don't
I
know
love
if you can
that.
see it on there.
Yeah.
And I bought one that was dark also.
Right.
So then I thought, well, they need some old pictures to show people
Exactly.
kind of what you're trying to do there.
Exactly.
So I put a picture of my mom in there. That's her christening picture.
Oh my
She was
goodness.
a baby.
That's right.
And this is my great Granny Gillen. This is her.
These are so nice.
And I put
May.
my great grandma's picture in there too.
Very nice.
Yes. So I'll put those up on my little display and I'll sell the frames if I can. And we'll see how that works.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think your show's going to go really, really well.
Yeah, we'll just see how it goes.
All right. And next we're going to talk about works in progress. My first work in progress is another pair of socks. Once again, I'm doing the Prairie socks. I'm just trying to change it up for the boys and see what's going on. So these are a pair of socks that are going to be for Scott's birthday. Once again, it's a little ways away. And what I'm using is the Perfect Pair by Loops and Threads, which we get at Michael's. And once again, we like Michael's. You can get a 30% off coupon. And this is lovely. It is made of... Can I find out quickly? It's 70% acrylic, 23% viscose from bamboo, and 7% polyester. It's lovely yarn. I've made socks with it before. And I've just started, and I'm making them using DPNs. And it's nice kind of to change it up and do that kind of thing. So I've just started. Now, part of the reason why I'm using DPNs instead of doing it two at a time is because I've just got one ball. The one ball will do both socks. So I just made a note of where the color change was, and I did this much more, and then I know what I'm going to do. So I should be able to match them up pretty well. Not that the boys care about that, but, you know, I care about that a little bit.
Yeah, well,
So-
I love the color.
Yeah, I know. And,
And this
it's-
yarn feels very
it's
soft.
really lovely to work with. I mean, I know usually we want a little bit of wool in some yarn, but with the boys and throwing it in the wash and throwing it in the dryer, that's... Now, May, I've made socks for you out of this yarn.
You have?
I have.
Oh.
Exactly. Do you
What
like
color? I love it.
it? Okay, perfect. So I'm really, really happy with that. There's all kinds of different colors, and I'm glad that you like it because
Right.
I think Scott's going to really
I think
like
so
it.
too, yeah. He'll love those colors. He
Okay.
really appreciates those socks that you do for him.
Well, it's so funny because he'll come over and I'll see, oh my gosh, there's the socks. So it's nice. It's nice when they use what we're
Yeah,
doing.
exactly.
Now, the one thing I want to mention, there's always a thing. I sound like Columbo. Just one more thing.
And for those of you who are vintage, you will know exactly what we mean.
Exactly.
We've actually been watching reruns of Columbo, which is
Yes,
kinda
we
cool.
have. That's right. Yep, we did like it because in a lot of shows you don't know who did it. In Columbo, you know who did it, and you got to figure out how he's going to prove
That's
it. So
right,
it's good.
exactly right.
So normally, I would like for a long time I would use 3 needles and knit with the 4th one. This time I'm doing it with 4 needles and knitting with the 5th one, and that's because of the pattern. And it's an even pattern of 4 stitches, and so it was easier to do it this
It
way.
looks really cool like that.
Yeah, it
you
does.
Could make something like that. You could put that on it. You could put that on your knit something big like that, and then put it on your wall.
You could.
That'd be kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Little piece of artwork.
Exactly. Oh, creative. She's creative, I'll tell you that. All right, my next work in progress, it's almost done, and I didn't expect to be so close to being done, is the Chronos. And that is one of the Lola's kit from Laura Nelkin. There's what the pattern itself looks like. So it will either make a necklace or it will make a bracelet, basically. Now, this comes in a kit every other month. There is a kit that comes. It's lovely. So the tin is this big. That's the top of it. My hands are this little, so I have trouble getting the top off. So in the kit, you get mercerized cotton. And you can get this on Etsy. You get a little crochet hook with a little progress keeper. And then there are beads, and then there is a needle, and then there is what they call a silicone slide bead. And so, oh, and one other thing which I shot across, and I don't know if you can see it, that is a dental floss threader, which helps you put beads on the yarn. So that's that, and here it is. So it's almost done. I just have to finish it up.
Turned out nice.
I'm really happy with it. So this is the first time I've done some of this beadwork using Fireline. So it's like it's a thin thread that you go through the beads in a certain pattern and create it. So I'm really, really happy with this. So when we were at the bead store, I was trying to find some more beads to do this, another circular bead like that, and then I'm going to make some more. So I think those will be nice Christmas
Now,
gifts.
when you get the kit, did you have a choice of color, or did you just get what comes?
Normally actually it is. It just comes what it is. So,
Because this isn't a color that you would normally pick, but it turned out nice.
I really like it actually.
Right.
And what I decided, because
It looks nice with white, yeah.
I think it looks nice with white. I think
Yeah.
we know somebody who could
Yes.
enjoy that. So what I have found is that sometimes the colors are just what I like and sometimes the colors are not. But I always figure I'm learning the new skill, because there's always new skills in there, and I can always tuck it into the gift bin. And so if it's somebody's birthday or Christmas, then we can give it to them.
Those people would love that for a gift.
Exactly.
There's a lot of work involved in that.
You know
Wow.
what? I loved it. I absolutely
Really?
loved it. And I love that what Laura Nelkin does is put attached into her patterns is a video that helps you. Because there was a few times I went, ooh, I was sort of understanding the words, and then she shows you how to do things.
How many beads do you think were in there, if you had to guess? 100?
Does it say? Let me see what it says.
That's a lot of beads,
2 grams each of size 8 seed beads.
but not how many.
Doesn't say how many.
Oh,
No.
just a curious thing.
Exactly.
Anyway, that turned out really nice.
I'm really happy with it. So
Yeah.
it should be done for next time. Maybe May will be wearing it next time.
Maybe that'd be a great thing to wear in this weather too. You
Exactly.
can wear your knitted wear. Oh my
Exactly.
goodness, there's a theme going on here.
Yes, and that actually has a little bit of crochet in it too, so it's perfect. All right, my last work in progress is something that I didn't expect to be doing. So we were at the dollar store. What were we trying to find at the dollar store?
I was looking for little tiny containers, little glass I don't know what you would call those. They're just little glass things, and I'm making little miniature lamps.
Oh, okay.
For a base.
Right.
They were a perfect size, and then we're in a dollar store at the craft section looking for those.
Right.
And we happened to come across this section that had other things. And
Exactly.
even if you're a crafter and you want to start a new craft, the dollar store spot is a great place to go.
Exactly.
I saw, you know how you did that knitted cow?
Yes.
What do you call that?
Meadow the cow.
What do you what do you call that?
Amigurumi.
Amigurumi. There was actually knitted amigurumi to do there at the dollar store. So if you have if you wanted to get into it, or if you had a grandchild that wanted to get into
Right.
it, it's a perfect little place to start, I think.
Exactly.
And get a feel if you like it or not before you go out and buy all the equipment.
Exactly.
And then if you like it, Bob's your uncle.
Exactly. And Bob is your uncle. There you go. So what I found, well, actually, we were looking for a certain color of thread so that I could do a little bit of embroidery for your miniatures. So that all started this. So what I saw was this. It's called a mini cross stitch kit. Okay, this is $1.50. There is what it is. And the picture that you get to do is that bird.
That's cute.
And I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get 2 of them because I didn't know how much green was in there and I didn't know how much green I needed. So in that kit, you get a hoop, which is, by the way, a good hoop, and I'll explain why. Because there's a groove in it and it will hold things snug. So I am not going to finish off my project with that hoop. I'll find a little wooden one to use that doesn't have the groove, because that's one thing that I've learned about hoops that will do that. So that's amazing. It had a little needle, which is a little plastic needle. So if you were working with a grandchild, it's perfect. It was okay. I used a different needle, and then I did your project, and I thought I have enough green left, so I actually did it. Now there was only one thing that was a problem. Remember, I paid $1.50, so I hadn't done cross stitch for quite a while, and so I needed a little bit of instructions. So when I opened it, there were instructions. There were instructions en français. There were in French. There were instructions en espagnol, in Spanish, but there were no English instructions. So I had to dig back in my brain to when I was taking Spanish and French in high school. And so if I got stumped, I was able to do that. I also did a little YouTube, to be honest with you, because that was a little bit too much in my brain. So I just finished this, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it, but I have an idea. So there is the wee bird that I did in cross stitch.
And I think for $1.50, like,
I
are
know.
you kidding me? That is brilliant.
I'm really, really happy
For somebody
with
like
that.
myself, I'm not interested, just in case we want to clear that up.
Okay,
I'm totally
I won't
not
buy her for
interested
that
in
for
doing
Christmas.
this. But if I was interested,
Yep.
this would be something I would use $1.50. If you mess it up, it doesn't matter. You can throw it out
Exactly.
and you say, I'll never touch that again.
Yeah.
I don't have to even spend $1.50 to know that I wouldn't even touch that. But I can't believe it. It's great. It turned out
Exactly.
nice, and it's cute, and it'll be
It
cute in the ring.
is. So I'm either going to put it in the ring, which I might do, or what I might do is put fabric around it and make it into a project bag, and just have that little bit sitting in the center or off to the side of a project bag.
Yeah.
It's
Good
a
idea.
possibility. So that's that. I'm happy that I really enjoyed it. I remembered about cross stitch, which is good. Very specifically how to do that. So I'm happy with it.
And the dollar store has opened up a whole world for people in miniatures and people in crafts. You don't have to
Right.
spend a fortune.
No,
And-
$1.50. I'm saying this size hoop. I'll keep talking. This size hoop. When I was at Walmart the other day, that size hoop is about $4.
So if you just buy that for the hoop,
You're good.
and they're great hoops, you said, so there you go.
Absolutely. And this, you could easily do something on this piece of Ada cloth, which is what it is,
Right.
and make a Christmas project if you want. Like
Now
a-
the hoop is plastic, it's not wood.
It's not wood,
So I don't
no.
know if that makes a difference or not, but
No.
it seems very solid.
It is,
For
absolutely. I'm very impressed.
Colleen and I are constantly saying, $1, it's only $1. It's only $1.50.
That's right.
But I love going there in the dollar store craft section, because you can be so creative. My mind just goes crazy. Like, oh, look what I could do with that. Look what I could do with this.
Exactly. And
And
especially
some of the
with
stuff
miniatures, yeah.
and even the wood, there's a lot of little wood cutouts that I
Right.
could do on the scroll saw that would take me hours.
Right.
And they sell packages of like 100 for $1. Like, How can you go wrong? Like,
You
how do they do
cannot go
that?
wrong.
They must have big machines going zoom, zoom,
I
zoom.
think so, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, it's great and it's good, inexpensive, and not everything has to be a fortune.
That's right. So those are my works in progress. And May, any works in progress?
I've been busy with my little booth, so if you live in London and you want to check that out, you could certainly check that out on the weekend. It is June the 4th, 2022, and it is from 10 to 2 at the East Lions Club.
Perfect. All right, so next we're going to talk about our adventure.
On our adventure, we went to Creemore, and it's called the House of Stitches. But before we get into you talking about all about the store and your little adventure on that, I'll talk a little bit about Creemore. Now, Creemore is this tiny, when we first drove in there, we were coming home from Collingwood, and it's this tiny little village, but it's beautiful. There's something clean about it, and
exactly.
nice.
Well, probably because the street cleaners were going up and down.
I forgot about that.
We had trouble. I'm only mentioning it because we had trouble. We had to park into a different spot, and everybody was watching the street cleaners go by.
Oh yeah, it was such a small town that the big thing was street cleaning. Everybody was out watching and talking
Exactly.
about the street cleaners.
That's right.
It's only 40 minutes from Toronto, and it's about 20 minutes from Barrie, so it's kind of in amongst the big cities.
Right.
So if you needed to go to the big cities, you could, and it's just south of Collingwood. On our way home, that's where we went. But it was well worth the visit.
Absolutely.
It only has a population of about 1,100 or something like
it's
that.
tiny.
It's a tiny little place. They don't have any big box stores or big box anything. It's
Okay.
all like locally owned businesses, and except there was a Home Hardware I noticed there, a little tiny one in the corner, which is great. I love Home Hardware
I
stores.
do. I know you kind of
They're
walk
great.
through and see all kinds of different things.
And while you were in the store, I kind of snuck out because I saw a bakery there. They had a nice bakery. They had a little furniture store, custom furniture stuff. Just a great little place.
It was
They
really
have a
cute.
brewery there, like that makes Creemore lager, and I think that's owned by Molson, that they had bought it, and so they
Okay.
have a Kettle Creek Festival every year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they have lots of little festivals there. You might want to check it out. They have a jail that you can visit during the summer that was built in the 1800s, and it's 15 by 20 feet, and it has 3
That's a
cells.
jail.
That was a jail.
Oh my gosh.
You can go visit. The tour would probably take a step. It'd be the minute tour.
Right.
So the festivals are good. It's a really good atmosphere. I don't know if I have anything written else down about it. It was voted one of the 10 prettiest towns in Canada in the Harold Smith magazine. And also, the Creemore comes from the Gaelic word Cremore. I don't even know if I'm saying that.
That's
Cremore. And that means it has a big heart.
And it does.
Yeah, but I like that it came from the Gaelic word. That's kind of
Exactly.
cute. It's kind of my
Exactly.
Scottish heritage coming
That's
out
right.
there. But a great little place, and the day was beautiful, which helps. When you visit these little
Exactly.
towns and the sun is shining, it just makes it worthwhile. Now, the store itself was lovely. It wasn't on the main strip. We went down a little side street,
Right.
which wasn't far.
Exactly.
And it, to me, on the outside, was so bright and so cute and so small town. And then you went into the inside of it, and it kind of reminded me of a small town,
Yeah,
but
it
lots
was
of
really-
products. Like
Exactly.
she had a lot of inventory in there.
Right, right.
And I think she's been in business for a long time, but I'll let Colleen talk all about the yarn store in Creemore.
All right, so it's called Creemore House of Stitches Quilt and Yarn Shop. And we met Cheryl Robertson, the owner, and the business has been there, she's been in business for 15 years. She does do online things. She has fabric and she has yarn. Now, I had purchased some yarn at Linda's Craftique, so I wasn't really looking for yarn. She had lovely yarn. She had some that were hand-dyed just for her store, which was great. I loved the yarn, but I kind of was drawn to some fabric, which was great.
Before you start about the fabric, can I just mention before I forget? Inside the store, she had a stand, and it was little earrings that she had up there.
Oh, that's
Remember
right.
that? And a
Yep.
friend of hers, her young daughter, was very young, and she played on a hockey team. And they were going on a trip to Europe, I believe.
Yeah.
And the whole plan was they had to earn their own money to go.
Exactly.
So her friend's daughter had asked if she could display these earrings to
That's right.
fundraise. Like, what an entrepreneur. I think she's like
Exactly.
14 or 15 years
Yeah,
old. Like, how
exactly.
cool was that?
Exactly.
I would have bought a pair of the earrings because they were great and they were lovely, and she did a professional
Exactly.
job.
Yeah.
But they didn't have... I wear the same earrings all the time, if you
Right.
hadn't noticed. Because I like them because they don't make my ears go all weird, like infected or anything like
Right,
that.
exactly,
So I don't
yeah.
know if these are real gold. I think they have to.
They
be
are real gold,
They
yeah.
are real gold.
Yeah.
And her earrings weren't real gold or anything like
Okay,
that.
so
So
you couldn't
otherwise,
wear
I would have bought
Yeah.
them. And in hindsight, I should have bought a pair anyway, just to support the young girl.
Right.
But I didn't. So
Yeah.
if we
And
ever go back, I'm going to buy some earrings.
Okay. All right, me too.
And I'll give them as a gift.
Right.
To somebody that's got good ears.
Now that would have made sense.
I know.
Why didn't we think about that?
I don't know, but I should
Okay.
have bought a pair.
Well, next time. I know we're going to be up around that area. in a
Small
little bit,
regret in my life.
Exactly, that's right. Now, in the store, she has Knit Picks needles, is what she sells. And what she was explaining to us was that we just missed, I'm not exactly sure if the name is the Creemore crawl, but it was, so all the stores had something special going on, and she said they had hundreds of people going through the weekend before we were there.
Like I say, living so close to Toronto and Barrie, I'm sure they get a lot of people. And
Exactly,
Collingwood.
exactly. And her fabric is beautiful. So let's first of all talk about the fabric. All different kinds of colors. And what I like is sometimes there's a pattern that you like on the fabric, but it isn't the color. And she's really careful to pick so you could get certain patterns with different colors. So she had all kinds of those things. She did have all kinds of notions, and I talked to her about her favorite notion. I can show that to you now. It is a souvenir, but I'll show that to you now. And hers favorite is the split ring markers. So that's what they are. These are the ones from Clover. And the funny thing is, I'd never really used these before, to be honest with you. And all of a sudden, I'm making your wee baskets, and I need this.
Really?
And I need
What
those.
exactly did they do?
So they hook in with, but are easy to pull out, right? There's nothing that closes them. So they hook over a stitch. When you're making those baskets, it's kind of in a spiral, and it hooks over the last stitch. So when you get to that last stitch, you know it's the end. So anyway,
So what did you think when you use it?
I love it. I really,
Really?
really like it. And as I said, I've never used them before. So it's kind of neat. That's kind of the question I've been asking people, if I am able to, is what's your favorite notion?
And this is the first thing that came to her mind. She must
Exactly.
really like them too.
Exactly. So that's that. And I think that's, for the most part, she was very helpful. And as you said, it's bright. There's windows on two sides. It's beautiful, and she
was friendly. Now,
Friendly, exactly.
Creemore is known for being friendly, and she was like super friendly, super
Right.
helpful.
Exactly.
You know, it was just a really nice atmosphere in that store. So
Exactly.
thank you very much.
Exactly.
And yeah, I would definitely go back to Creemore. It's a great little place.
Absolutely. So next we're going to talk about souvenirs. I had a great time shopping at the Creemore House of Stitches. So the first thing I got was some fabric. And as I mentioned, you can get the same pattern, two different colors. And so that's what I did. And they're coordinating, and I like that. So what I might do, just thinking about it, project bag of one, and then a little notions pouch in one of the other ones. Not sure that's what I'm going to do, but what we may do at some point in time, if we're going to have a giveaway, then I could maybe make a project bag out
I
of that
love
for a
this
giveaway.
fabric. It feels really,
I know.
feels really nice.
I know. It's so hard because when you're making a project bag, you want to have it so that it's washable, which means you're supposed to wash the fabric first. But so it does take a little bit of the sizing out of the fabric, and it doesn't keep it as nice. When we're doing your miniatures,
I don't wash the fabric.
you don't wash the fabric. Now, the nice thing is there is something that's called flatter spray. So it's Flatter, and it's made by the company that does soak, and it helps put some of that oomph back.
There's always a product, isn't
There's
there?
always a product. Now, speaking of products, here we go. In January, February, I was doing the Cozy Up Knits Mystery Knit Along. And I was using a light gray yarn, and then I had a dark gray yarn and a black yarn, and then there was a burgundy yarn. And when I blocked it, the burgundy color bled a little bit. So let's hold this up, and I'll show you where. So there's a couple of places. This is the one that's probably the worst. Yeah. So what's happened is the light gray around here, I don't know if you can see it, but you definitely see it here, is it's bled a little bit. So I'm thinking, what can I do? Well, the first thing that I did was I took off some of this because this was huge, like way too big for what I wear. So I actually ripped back some of it, and I haven't finished blocking the ends, but I'm happy about that because I thought, what am I going to do? Then I thought, well, I can use this as my camping shawl, which will be great. It'll wrap it around. It'll keep me warm by the fire. Won't worry that it smells like fire. But I thought what I might try is to use something there's products that you can get. There's a couple of different ones that if dye has run, it will take it out. So this is Dylon SOS Color Run. Restores item stained by color run accidents. It wasn't an accident, it just happened, but there we go. So that's what this is. So I had a lovely talk with Cheryl about this, and she was talking about an old quilt that was red and white that had been in an old house in Creemore.
Oh, that's right. And every time they sold the house, the quilt stayed with the house.
So the latest person,
new owner,
decided it needed to be washed, threw it in the wash, the red bled, that rhymes, the red bled, and so they were basically saying, I don't know what to do with this. So one of Cheryl's friends said, I'll take it. If you don't mind, if you're going to throw it out, I'll take it anyway and see what I can do. And this is what they used. And basically the quilt became just like it was new. And then she gave it back to the lady who owned the house.
Wow.
So I haven't done it yet because I wanted to show you this product.
Well, let's see what happens, and we can put on the next
Exactly.
podcast or whenever you get a chance, not necessarily the next one.
Yes.
But get an idea
Exactly.
if this product works for you
Exactly.
or not. so
Yeah,
that
I'm
we would
hoping
know.
that
Yeah.
it will. I probably,
I'm interested to see if
in
that will work.
hindsight, should have put in some
Salt?
salt. Would have worked. Maybe not salt. Forget salt. Vinegar might have helped. I could have put in some citric acid. Might have helped make the dye hold. I didn't realize that it was going to bleed.
Anyway, like you said, you've got a plan B.
Exactly. So I'm really, really thrilled about that.
Yes.
Now, the last thing that I got from Cheryl's store was actually a gift from her. So when they had that Creemore crawl or whatever, the craft crawl, the soap company had given her some samples. And so she was lovely because sometimes when you buy soap, you have to buy a certain scent and you don't know if that's the scent that you really want. So she gave me a sample of all the scents that she had, except the unscented, which made total sense. Because who needs to smell something that doesn't smell like anything? So that was really kind of her, and I really, really did appreciate that.
Yeah, that was nice of her to do that. So you get to try these out.
Exactly. And probably I can do one soap packet, will do a couple of projects.
I think what you should do is have a little chart. You're good at charts.
Oh, I'm good at
And
charts.
have, which one you like the best.
Right.
Top, maybe best out of 5.
That would be good. I can absolutely do
Because
that.
there's 5 of them here. And
Exactly.
You just have the best out of 5 and which one you like the best.
And can I use your nose as well?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll both
And
give
we'll
it
both do it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the best.
Sounds
Okay.
good. All right. So that's from Creemore House of Stitches. Now, on the way back, we were going to
Creemore.
from
Creemore.
Creemore.
Then on the way home to Listowel, we had to
Right.
come down there.
Right. So we stopped in Listowel because there's the McDonald's with the washroom. You can get a coffee. Life is good. And so we decided we would stop in at the Spinrite factory outlet in Listowel. And that's on Elma Street West in Listowel. We've been there before. They used to have a tent sale, but they didn't have enough product actually to have a tent sale. So they have something like a trailer sale. You can buy 3 balls to get a 4th one free. They've got all kinds of deals. So if you go onto their website, it explains. They have, let me just mention.
What I know is everything is bulk in there. Like they have bins and bins of the same thing.
Exactly, they do. And different colors. So they have Bernat, Red Heart, Karen patterns, they have crochet thread. So they have all different kinds of things for you to try. They did have some yarn that was in skeins instead of in a ball, which was neat to see. Sometimes the colors are a little different, but it was neat to see. Now, you never know what you're going to find. So I'll explain what happened. So I have these pins that I have had forever.
Those are nice. You like those?
I like them. So what they are, they're not as they're not as thick. No, they're not as thin as a regular pin. That was hard to say. And so they're a little bit thicker, and these are supposed to help if you're trying to put two parts of a garment together. It holds it together for you. I find if I'm sewing that this is a little bit gentler to pick the end through if you want to tie off your thread. And I have been trying to find these and can't find them. So I did buy something from Amazon, and they came, and they did have little hearts on them, but they weren't as thick as these. So when I was looking around, looked at the yarn, and then I went down the notions aisle, and lo and behold, I found these. So these are Clover knitting marker pins. Now,
can I just be clear? You didn't buy these ones then. These are the ones you had.
That I wanted to match.
And you want to get more. Okay.
And I've been trying for a couple of years to try and find something. So I did find these ones. Same idea. They don't have the pretty little hearts, but they're lovely. And I'm really, really happy because, as I said, you know that I've been looking for
a little longer, I think, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit even longer. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So I'm really happy. That was a good deal, by the way, because I had been trying. It's so hard when you're seeing something on Amazon.
And you only bought one package after not being able to find it for 2 years. Did you only buy one package?
I did. Did you want me to buy
Usually
two?
you buy two of everything.
Yeah, usually I do. I didn't in this case.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
Nice.
Exactly. So I was really happy with those. And then on the way, well, sitting right by the cash register, which is where they usually put these things, they have these lovely pocket power snips pen style. So I haven't opened these yet. They look like this. So I think if I'm doing embroidery or cross stitch, they're going to be, it says compact, sharp, and safe.
Oh, there you go.
All
Those
kinds
we
of
need
good
to
things.
have.
Safety cap locks.
It'll be great for the car.
Great for the car, great for putting in a project bag. I love that.
Yeah, in a project bag, you know, you're not going to cut anything in there accidentally with those. Those
Exactly.
are great. I didn't see those. Oh, that's surprising sometimes on your souvenirs, things I see.
And May, did you get any souvenirs?
I did not. Nothing in there was for me.
Okay.
If we had gone to maybe the wood store, maybe I should have gone to the Home Depot or something
Oh,
like that. Yeah.
that's right. Next
The
time
home
we
hardware,
will.
yes.
There we go.
But it was a great trip, wasn't it?
We
was
had a
really
great
nice.
time.
Creemore was a great little place, and so the trip on Listowel and having the coffee and just going into that store and taking our time was a nice trip.
Exactly. So thanks so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up. I was watching a video the other day on YouTube, and they said this helps their YouTube channel. So
Oh, does it?
yeah, it
Didn't
does.
even know that.
Yeah,
I thought you were
exactly.
just. I wonder if this picture behind us keeps moving because
It just moved again.
Oh, did it? Because
It did.
you know, through the whole video, I think that
Exactly.
through the video, if it has moved, we're sorry.
You know, maybe
for that.
all we need to do is do this,
This-
this, and then come this way. Be straight.
Anyway, sorry for that.
That's okay. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.
You take care.